So they would hold three, depending on 3 or 4 6-day bike races, where they'd bring in Belgium from Europe. They'd bring in French riders. They'd bring in
Oh, wow.
Americans. And it was very popular. 12, 14, 1,500 people at a night's race.
When was
Back in the
this?
day, there were riders like Jocelyn Lovell, Gord Singleton, Peter Junick, Peter Penman. Of that vintage, back in that era, those guys were the guys that 15, 16, 17-year-olds looked up to.
Mm-hmm.
So we would go down to Delhi to train 3 days a week on the track. And that was the introduction to track cycling.
Oh, so is this in the 70s?
I don't want to say.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, late 60s, early 70s.
Okay, so when I was born.
Mid 70s.
Yeah, okay. All right. So fun stuff is
for the young kids, that's 1970s.
That's when your mom was probably born or your dad was born. Back in the day when Elvis was alive. And anyways.
Right. Yeah. Stuff.
But that's interesting. Keep talking. So how did it evolve?
So we went from riding and racing down in Delhi, Simcoe. They would hold 4, 5, 6 races a year. On a Tuesday night, they would throw a race on at the Belgium Club. We would go to Simcoe on a Thursday night to race, not a midweek like what would be in Mississauga now, but it'd be a one-of race in the residential area, and they just cordon off the roads,
okay,
and get it done.
Wow.
So it was a hotbed of cycling, and that basically is what translated into the Forest City Velodrome, because many of the Belgium folks that loved bike racing would attend our races at FCV every Saturday night.
Right. Nice.
So that's how I got involved with the racing side, the sports side of competitive cycling. As a 15, 16, 17-year-old, we would go down there all the time and hone our skills. It was all skill. It was all skill development, learning how to pedal, learning how to bike handle, being able to figure out how to pass somebody without knowing how to do it. So we learned all that stuff.
Yeah. Wow. So did you end up taking a break through your 20s? Like most people kind of do? Or?
Interesting. We were, and I remember this specifically, we were training for the track nationals. Jocelyn Lovell was the team leader, and we were a week out from track nationals in Montreal, mid to late August of whenever it was. And we were out motor pacing. I was behind a Volkswagen Rabbit with the hood up, doing 100 kilometers an hour in a silly gear. And we were last effort, and one of my knees popped. And I immediately told the fellow that was driving the car, I said, I hurt myself. You guys go on ahead. I'm just going to roll home, which was 15K. And as it turned out, I raced the following week with major knee injuries, and caused me to basically stop cycling the following year. And that was as a 21-year-old.
Oh, shoot.
So I remember that specifically. And my knees didn't heal for 5, 6, 7 years.
Wow.
If you think back in the 80s, early 80s, there weren't the technology in surgery. You couldn't go in and take a look inside of things. Yeah. And I didn't want people to slice up my knees. So I just said, I got to take a little bit of time. So 25 years went by, and then I came back cycling, and it was specific to, they were building a track. Ontario had never had a track since the Delhi Velodrome indoor track. They didn't have a track for 20, 30 years. Everybody chatted, oh, we got to build a track. Oh, we're going to build a track.
What happened to that track that they put up and took down? What happened to that?
I believe at the time, and this is going back a long time,
Yeah.
I believe they put it into a tractor trailer. Somebody in Ottawa area invested in it. And when they opened the trailer up 18 months later, water had leaked and the track was ruined.
Why did I think I hear about that?
So those are little things that nobody knows about, but what happened.
Wow. So that was it? Like somebody bought it from Ontario, Ottawa, and then it left and nobody did anything else? Like how could it have stopped
for
like
30
that?
years? Literally for 30 years, there was the Windell Park. It was an outdoor asphalt, very rough. Some people liked it, some people didn't like it.
Yeah.
But for 30 years, there was talks of, oh, we're going to build a track. Oh, we're going to do this. And it just never happened. Nobody had the money to do it.